we have our anchors put in the ground, one here and one on the other side, and we have our poles up. So I just learned something. Dirt only packs in about 6 to 8 inches into the pipe. So what I need to do is cut this pipe a little shorter than the outside pipe, so that way when the dirt gets packed in, it doesn't pack into this pipe and wedge them together so I can't pull it up. We're gonna put this pipe inside the sleeve pipe. We're gonna put it all in, and let's see if my theory holds up. If it holds up, then we're good and we will be golden for the rest of these, and I would have learned something very valuable. If not, then I'm pulling it out again and we start all over. We got 3 feet of pipe in the ground, about 3 feet of pipe out of the ground, and we have five feet of pipe to go up, but we don't need to go up 5 feet. We only need to go up about 4, which means we have plenty of length here to help for support. We need to put some bolts in here, and we are going to drill a hole straight through both pipes and put a bolt in here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We got our pilot holes through the tops of these, okay, and that's going to allow our high tensile wire to travel through there. We also, the way I decided to fasten these is we put 2 of these self-tapping metal screws through here, one and then the other, with the idea that that will help with shear, because it's going to be really hard to shear both of them at the same time. And then on these main posts, I have holes on the top and on the middle and at the bottom. Now the bottom is bolted in, so this is done, but these are here because when we run our anchor wires, our wires that go down to our anchor, I need to make sure that they can't slide down the post. And if it's wood, you just put a little notch in it and it makes it easy. But with pipes, I find I just put a hole and it makes it really easy. I'll show you how I fasten these. So we're gonna put our first wire on. We're gonna put it right above this bolt so that way we don't have to worry about our wire sliding down, because if I try to tighten this, it's gonna slide down the pole. So we're just gonna go around once like this, one wrap, and then I'm gonna put a fencing knot in. It's a pretty simple knot, it's nothing fancy. Basically, you take your wire and you go around and you go like this. You basically almost like you're gonna tie a knot, see, like that? Looks like a big knot, but what you do, you keep tension on the long portion and the short portion you pull back, okay? As much as you can. And then right here you come forward, okay? And that's gonna take, it's basically gonna make a little lock right there, okay? And then I'm gonna do my wraps like I normally would if I was doing like high tensile fencing, okay? Make a little handle and then come in, and this wire is really hard to do this with, but it's okay. I also don't do this every day, but I do know the theory behind it. So, there you go, just like that. And that's about what it should look like. And that's going to keep this whole thing from unraveling. Now, the other option is just to wrap around like 10 times, but potentially if you put a lot of force on it, and there's going to be quite a bit of force on this, it could unravel. I've used other high tensile wire and it's much easier to work with than this stuff. I don't know what's difficult about this stuff, but it's really hard to work with. So now let's pull the wire nice and tight on this side, get as much of it as we can through. We're going to take a wrap around our post, and we're going to do the same thing over here. You can see that's not a lot of tension, but as soon as this pole gets pulled back at all, you're going to see that's going to tighten up pretty tight right there. And then once we spin this wire, it's gonna get way tighter. So we came back to work on the tomato trellises again, and here's what I figured out. I wasn't happy with the tension. And the reason I wasn't happy with the tension is I tightened up these anchor wires about as much as I really wanted to, and I still didn't have the tension up top that I wanted to. And so I realized what had happened is I just built too much slack into the system. So I went and got this old fence tensioner that I had, and we are going to tighten the top wire as much as we can. It actually is already taut. I'm really happy with the tension now. We're gonna retie our knot, and then we're gonna put a second wire in a little about 4.5 feet off the ground. And since we'll probably have a big load of tomatoes or cucumbers or beans or something like that on here every summer going forward, I kind of want to make sure that I don't have to mess with this again. So we are going to re-tie the knot for this top wire, then we're going to put a second wire on, then we're going to tension the whole entire thing up, and I'll show you the end product because it's going to be really great when we're all said and done. The next thing after this is to start building our raised beds, which is coming. I promise you it's coming. It's just, like I've said, it's a little like family circus over here. We're always doing these little things and little projects here and there. Some of them don't show up on the camera because, well, it's just regular old farm work. Well, maybe you guys would enjoy that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see regular old farm work. Maybe I can put some of that in here. So we are getting tension on this really quick. Now, the other day we had a little bit of an incident where Clint let this pipe go and proceeded to beat the daylights out of me. He did it twice, so probably about 10 hits a piece. And I still have a little bit of a tender spot on my shoulder from him doing that. You think you can avoid not letting it go?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on to it. Up top, down low, perfect, thank you. All right. So we'll get this one just started. So I'll show you the way we're locking these together. I'm taking a piece of larger diameter pipe. I'm putting it through. Are you good? Are you gonna smack me in the head with that?
No, I won't.
You won't? Okay. Sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Let go with the bottom.
Wait,
There you go.
pushing.
Now put that one in here. All right. So that is how we're locking these together so they don't come undone and smack somebody in the face or in the shoulder like Clint did to me twice the other day. So basically we're going to go back and forth between each side, tension them up, get everything pretty much where we want it, and then they should be good. I say they should be good, well, because it's always an adventure. We'll do the bottom first. All right, that's pretty darn good right there, buddy. If you want to hold that. Let's get the pipe over these, get these locked together. There you go, just like that. And now they're not going anywhere unless somebody really plays with them. The top feels really good. I'm really happy with it. The middle is a little loose, but that's okay because we're not quite done yet, and I'll show you why it's okay. We have to raise the middle up a little. Remember, it's supposed to be about 57 inches. That's what we decided on. So we're gonna raise these up just a little bit more, and that's gonna put a little bit more tension. The other thing is, the middle wire, I'm not as worried about being under real high tension as the top wire, because the top wire is kind of the wire of last resort when it comes to holding everything up. We have the basics of our trellis system set up. And so now there's a few little things that we're still going to tweak in the future. Currently I'm using some pipe clamps to hold this at the right height. It's because I'm not sure if I want to put a hole in this or not. One of the things I did do on these pipe clamp areas is when I tightened up this more malleable wire, not high tensile wire, but a wire that bends and flexes easier. When I tightened that up, I also came on this side and just gave it a little tweak. And so that allows the wire to move back and forth through it, so I don't end up with like a pinch point here. So everything's like tensioning from this side. It's putting some weird tension on my post. But overall, I'm really happy with this. We have a wire at about 57 inches. That's my shoulder height right here. And then we have another one right up here at about 7'6" or something, right around there, which is higher than we may need. But this gives us a really nice trellis system for anything we want to grow. So now if we want to, we can come in, we can run wires down, we can run a mesh across this if we want to. So this is our trellis system. It's the basics. It's everything we need to scale for different types of plants that we want to grow in here, as well as it's right in the middle. So it gives us a great ability to have a wall of greenery on one side that gives us shade on the other side. So I can extend my growing season a little deeper into summer with some of the stuff that I started a little earlier in spring. It's kind of the idea. But thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get inspired, and we'll see you in a few days. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.